again, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
Today we want to talk about what is expediting. We get a lot of questions, so maybe today we can help answer some of those.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people, one of our last vlogs said we did 2,300 of the miles with a 36-pound box, and everybody's got their story out here. We've all done little small deliveries cross country before, but one question we get all the time is, can we make any money doing expediting? And there's a lot of confusion. What is expediting? Mm-hmm. We'll share a couple stories down in the links from Expediters Online too. A couple of the bloggers have done stuff on.
One of the questions a lot of people ask is, can we put multiple loads on the truck?
Right.
In expediting, most of the loads are exclusive use loads, meaning they book the truck, they pay for the truck for their shipment only.
Yeah.
So we cannot put multiple loads on with those types of shipments. Now, that's not always the case. We have done, since we've been with Landstar, a couple loads where we have had multiple loads.
Yep, we picked all from one place and delivered to multiple locations. It just worked out that way. Mm-hmm. We had to reseal each load at, each pickup. I think a lot of the biggest misconception is a lot of big truck drivers call expediting LTL when it's not. LTL is completely different from expediting. Now, sure, we carry small loads, but customers are paying for a dedicated service with these trucks. Mm. So no matter how big their load is, they're paying for a dedicated service. Now, what are some reasons why somebody would want to hire an expediter truck? They just don't want their freight mingling with other people's freight. An LTL service is... they'll pick up multiple different customers' freight, put it all on one trailer, and transport it across country, and then do the deliveries in where they need to go to. But these customers' shipments are getting handled multiple times. They're getting picked up and from the shipper. They're getting taken back to a loading dock, and they're getting taken off one truck, loaded onto another truck with other freight. Then they get to the city and they get taken off that truck, redistributed to other trucks to go get delivered. And all that handling, there's lots of possibilities for damage, and a lot of times there's high value stuff they just don't want it handled that much. A 35-pound box, or a 36-pound box. It was an explosive shipment that you don't transfer around to other trucks all the time.
Yeah, or fly.
Or fly. You cannot fly an explosive material, especially after 9/11.
Another misconception I think people have is us getting paid by the weight or quantity of the load, and that's not how we are paid. It doesn't matter if we're carrying a 36-pound load or a 10,000-pound load. We would not get paid any more or less.
Right. It's paying for the mileage. Now, sure, sometimes heavier loads might pay a greater rate, here or there, but it's not really, it would be just a higher mileage rate, but not so much. We've had our 36-pound box load paid better than some heavier loads we've done. So it's really the service that the customer is requesting.
Yeah, the services, the commodity, things like that really play a part in the pay and rate per mile that we get per load.
Right. Expediting does a lot of high value stuff. Mm-hmm. That's just the nature of expediting. It's exclusive use, valuable items that they just don't want to get lost, We did a laptop one time from San Diego all the way to Maryland, and you would think, well, why didn't they just ship a laptop through UPS? Well, I don't know if you've ever gotten a package from UPS. They throw those boxes around. They're handled a lot.
Yeah, no shade on UPS.
No, yeah.
It's a different service.
It's a different service, yeah. Right. They're throwing these boxes around. They're going through turntables, and, a customer just might not want their laptop being banged around like that or being lost.
Yeah, we've been at pickups and deliveries where we see FedEx, UPS trucks coming in, the little box vans, and they pull up to the dock and they're just tossing those packages up on the dock.
Right.
I mean, and I know that, you know, they're in a hurry, they got to rush, but yeah, like Jason said, they're paying for the service.
Yeah, and expediting, we're out here transporting commodities just like every other truck out here. You know, it's just a different type of service. You know, a lot of times maybe a customer only has 5 pallets, and why hire a big 18-wheeler when all they need is 5 pallets delivered ASAP, you know? Sure, a lot of 18-wheelers, guys, they provide expediting services too.
Oh, yeah, we've seen 18-wheelers that have little 1 pallet in a 53-foot truck, or even a small box at 36 pounds.
Or even if you got a full truckload. If you got a full truckload and you pick up from point A, you got to get to point B as fast as possible because it's a hot shipment, you know, that's considered an expedite load, you know. It's a smaller service. Why pay $3 a mile when you could pay $2.50 a mile or $2 a mile? So, you know, we handle smaller shipments that just don't need the big old tractor trailers and stuff.
Which brings up another question we get a lot. What kind of freight do you haul in that little truck? We will haul any kind of freight.
Yeah.
We've hauled, like Jason said, a laptop. We've hauled auto parts. It doesn't matter what it is. We've hauled printing stuff. We've hauled chemicals. Any kind of freight that will fit on our truck that isn't going to put us overweight, we haul it.
Right.
We get all different kinds of freight.
All kinds.
Just like tractor trailer drivers do.
Yeah.
So there's not one certain commodity that we're hauling.
No.
We're open to all kinds and get all kinds of freight.
Yeah, a lot of the reefer trucks that you see, like these expediter trucks, they do a lot of high value art loads and pharmaceutical loads.
Yeah.
And you know, they do you know, just dedicated stuff that's high value that requires a special attention that we give to the freight, you know. And that's not to say that tractor trailer guys don't give special services to their freights either. It's just it's a smaller quantity, you know. If shipment has pharmaceuticals that needs to go somewhere, why pay a tractor trailer to haul 1 pallet, you know?
Yeah.
Now, sometimes they do.
Yeah, and which brings another question we get is why do they put that 36-pound box on your truck when they can put it on a cargo van?
Right.
Well, some things like the explosive load we did can be hauled by a cargo van, but their cargo van has to be set up in a certain way for that. They have to have a partition. I mean, there's a lot of things that go on with that type of load.
You have to have a wall built separating your sleeper area from your cargo area. Your cargo area cannot be able to be accessed.
Right.
You know, they want that sealed, that load in the back, sealed, not able to get to it until it's gotten to the drop and they break the seal. So if you got a cargo van with a partitioned wall, sure, you could get some 36.
And your hazmat,
Yep.
Definitely. There's a lot of loads that we get that could actually go on a cargo van. One of the reasons we may get it is there may not be a cargo van in the area, so they put it on a straight truck.
Yeah.
I think that's probably more the common thing that happens than not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, that often happens, you know.
Or the customer wants to pay for a straight truck.
A lot of times it just requires a dock high.
Yeah,
They want a vehicle that's dock high. Maybe they don't have a ramp that goes up into their warehouse where you can back up into, you know. There's a lot of warehouses out there like that they hire a straight truck, and when they could have hired a cargo van just because they needed dock high.
Yeah.
So
expediting is just like the name says. It's pick up and get it there.
Yep.
Unlike LTL, it may get picked up and take a whole week to get 2,000 miles because it's going from terminal to terminal to terminal. We pick up and go straight there. Now, there's a lot of times we have extra time on loads, like the load we just did from California to Oklahoma. We had 4 days on it.
That was a solo kind of load that solo could do in expediting, you know, and there are solo people out here doing expediting. It's whole nother topic, but
I didn't want to touch on that though, because a lot of people do ask, can solos make money out here? Yes, you can. There's a lot of successful solo drivers out here.
You don't just come out here and do that, though.
No, it
You
takes
gotta
a
learn.
lot of...
You gotta research.
Yeah,
You gotta,
yeah.
you know, you don't just, oh, I read for a month on Expediters Online. I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
You know, okay, I know how to do logs. I'll go do expediting. It's not that simple.
Mm-mm.
You really gotta have like somebody to mentor you and somebody, you know, that really give you the lowdown on how to be successful as a solo. Greg Huggins from Expediters Online, he did a blog. It's called Expediting is Trucking. Expediting isn't just trucking. It's a whole different business over here with expediting. It just because you were successful in trucking and you owned your own truck doing truckloads all the time doesn't mean you're going to come over to expediting and be successful right away. You know, there's a lot to learn about expediting. It's not something you just get into with any business. I think
any business.
Yeah, with any business, you got to take your time and research before jumping into it. Otherwise, you're just going to get left behind. You know, you got to keep up with the times, keep up with what's going on. You got to, you know, learn the freight lanes, and freight lanes are always changing. You got to learn good areas, bad areas, find the right company that mixes for you. You know, it's just like any other trucking. You got to learn before you just jump into it and make money. You know, it doesn't happen overnight.
Which kind of brings up another good point, and a question we get asked about a lot is, do we sit a lot in expediting?
That is the biggest problem that a lot of people have when they come from tractor trailer over into expediting. Now, sure, you guys watch our videos and you see us staying busy and running, and you know, I really wish we would have started doing our videos when we first started in expediting.
I do too. But there are times we sit too, and you see that.
There are.
Sometimes it's by our choice. Sometimes it's because we're sitting and waiting for a load.
Yeah. Don't just watch us and think, oh, they're doing good, I'll do good too. You know, I mean, we've taken some years to learn how to be successful.
And we're still learning.
And we're always learning. We never stop learning. And I think that's what keeps us successful.
When people ask us to give them advice, the biggest piece of advice we always tell everybody is research, research, research. Don't just jump in because you've read one article or you've been watching our videos and think you know. Research until
take your time.
Yes,
Jason
took over a year researching expediting before we jumped in.
When I first started doing my research into expediting, you know, I seen a truck that I liked, and I'm like, ooh, I'll go do that. Let's get a Kenworth T660 with a regular sleeper and throw the box on the back, and we'll just go. And then I started learning things about over gross 33,000 pounds, the more taxes you're going to pay if you are over 33, and you know, just all kinds of different things. The year that we were looking to get into it, those Cummins engines were horrible. And I didn't know that yet. I thought Cummins engines were great. It took time to learn. Expediting, it's just as viable in the trucking industry as tractor trailer. You know, it's a service out here that helps provide businesses with another way of shipping their products. You know,
think of it as just another division of trucking. You know, that you've got all kinds of trucking.
You got flatbedding. You got
oversized.
We're undersized.
Yeah. It's just another branch of trucking.
It is, and it's a very viable branch of trucking.
Yeah.
You can definitely come out here and make money.
Yeah.
You know,
it wouldn't be around as long as it has been over 20 plus years if there wasn't money to be made. People wouldn't stay doing it. Absolutely,
So, just to kind of help explain, you know, what expediting is. You know, it's just another division of trucking that a lot of businesses rely on to keep their businesses running.
And Jason, I think I already mentioned, but we always tell people, go check out Expediters Online. They have a great forum. They have a lot of blog posts, a lot of great people that have been in it a long time.
We're just a little drip of what expediting is. You know, if you want everything expediting, Expediters Online. There is no other website out there that has more information on expediting. And so many other knowledgeable drivers that just have different opinions than what we have, you know?
Yeah, and we've learned a lot. We still go on and read the blog posts.
Sometimes I'll have an opinion about something, and I'll read through, you know, a blog post about something, and, you know, it kind of changes my mind about something. But, well, maybe I'll try this a little bit different next time. Expeditersonline.com, your #1 source for expediting. It's where we learned, where we met our owner where we started. And,
Yeah.
you know, if you want to get into expediting and know what expediting is, check them out.
Absolutely.
I hope this helps explain what expediting is, what it is we do out here.
Kind of in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, yeah.
So if y'all have questions or comments, leave them down below. We'll be happy to help answer those.
Yep.
Thank you guys as always for watching and subscribing.
Until our next video.
Peace, love, and expediting.